even if we didn't know. Like,
I do actually, like, for what it's worth, though, I really like Steve Wilson.
Sleeper, yeah.
I think sleeper pick Steve Wilson.
Sleeper pick for sure.
It's a really strong team that just it doesn't have a lot of history, so it's hard to have a lot of information on. But I think that is a actually really strong team.
Does have a little bit of history from DreamHack Austin.
Steve, not with the core. I was really expecting the core. Steve and Wilson, they were running this core queen nine combo. All right, so this is just button checks. And it was looking really good.
Starlight staring back and forth on the platform.
Well, it's because it was like 30 seconds and no one actually hit anyone. But it looked like genuine picks, right? Wilson's on the queen nine.
Yeah.
We see the Sidra. Okay, so it is a Bodvar.
So it is a Bodvar pick.
Okay.
I wonder if we're going to see the Steve classic gravity cancel down signature on Bodvar Hammer.
I wanted him to hit
Who did that the other day?
He tried to do it in ones, and it was almost off screen. And I really wanted him to hit that.
Because someone did it in twos. I want to say it was Lil Capped.
I think
who did it in twos. In like the standard Steve spot, where like he's just a little bit off stage in the push-off column, and they are on stage.
Yeah.
He missed with it, though.
Unfortunate. So he's switching it up. He's gonna have the same hammer crossover from his core, but he's gonna be going to this Bodvar. It's interesting that he go to the Bodvar. Less defense than the core, but maybe faster attack options with the sword than the gauntlets, or won't be locked down for as long as the gauntlet moves can kind of be.
Or Steve sometimes undervalues gauntlets in his mind. Or he doesn't value his gauntlets like other people value gauntlets as a weapon. So he might not feel as comfortable himself playing gauntlets.
Or it could specifically be a matchup thing. He's going up against an Asuri and a Sidra. Guitars tend to have a pretty strong matchup against gauntlets, despite what we saw in 1v1s just a little while ago, and Cannon definitely has a pretty strong matchup against gauntlets. So having sword a little bit more of a middle-of-the-road consistent weapon that doesn't necessarily falter against those two will be a little bit easier for him to use.
Also, I mean, you know it and I know it. Steve has a Bodvar from years and years ago.
Like, there was that period in time where every North American had a Bodvar, and then once people started trickling off, Steve still stuck with the Bodvar a little while afterwards. Now he's going to switch up over to the hammer. Wilson, we've heard a couple of Queen Nine signatures, but it's the side signature from Stevenator that'll get the first stock off of Wrenched.
Everybody pretty much in the orange, though. Starlight taking a little bit more punishment. That was definitely a reasonably early death from Wrenched. Starlight is going to follow suit. High knockout potential from Wilson here with this Queen Nine pick. D-Light recovery from Wrenched off of the island.
Down signature, but this is Queen Nine, high defense character. Able to make it past Wrenched ground pound, and will be able to touch back down to ground safely.
Now, it looked like Wilson was poising for an attack onto Wrenched as he went back onto the platform, and then Starlight just comes in, cannon sares Wilson out of the way. Probably because he was too focused on Wrenched, just blindsiding him.
Oh, Steve with a big nair onto his teammate. Now caught in between the 2v1. What a team combo. It's rare to see a team combo involving a cannon because there's not a lot of cannon players in twos.
And Steve's going to fall in the meantime onto his last stock while everybody else is yellow and maybe beginning stages of orange. So Steve might be going out of this game very early, forcing Wilson into the 1v2. Could be into a 4 stocks to 2 situation with the 1v2.
We are seeing that the red team is not getting their characteristic Queen Nine signatures all over the space stage control that they have in the past, especially on Friday. Nice run through, hits the side signature on Wrenched. Can't quite finish the stock though. Both blue team members are low. Stock count evened up. Oh, and Wrenched is going to be able to pick out Wilson.
Starlight doing a good job surviving. Even though he was the second one to die, I believe.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh.
Yo!
Is that going to be the kill? Wilson was able to touch the scoop coming in. Steve throwing Starlight out of the way.
But still so much damage put out onto STTP Wilson by the cannon players.
Oh, he was looking for it. He was looking for it.
Just over the head of his teammate.
I'll tell you what, if he hits that over there on the edge, like latter stages of yellow, you're done.
Kill.
You're done.
You're so close to the kill box on the right side island. Neutral signature connects. Wilson is out of here. Steve in the 1v2.
In the red.
No health to play with in this one.
Steve sitting on the wall. Starlight going in, pulls out of that ground pound really early, just kind of a threat. Maybe draw a little bit of attention onto him so that Wrench can come in.
All right, looking confident. Wilson and Stevenator need to find the adjustment. Is Stevenator going to switch up the characters? Is he going to go back to the core?
Haven't heard any lock-ins yet, but I think we heard Stage Bandit coming in.
Nope,
no
staying
switch
with
ups.
the Bodvar, okay.
No switch-ups.
But going to change up the map at the very least. Going to be going to Mammoth this time. Won't have to contest with that island on the right side. Won't have any soft platforms as well, except for that moving one.
Now, not that he needs to switch up or anything, but Steve does have quite the character pool. It was when he was playing, and Creed was kind of informally coaching him, that Steve showed a huge amount of flex in what weapons he plays, what character he chooses, and that also carries over to Wilson as well. We've seen so many different characters come out from Wilson, more kind of, I don't want to say casually, but like we see the occasional Caspian, the occasional other picks. Like we see a regular Ragnar from him, but it's been a lot of Queen Nai this time. I wonder if there is any criteria that will make him switch off of the Queen Nai pick.
I don't think there is any way Wilson will switch off this Queen Nai right now. That being said, though, Starlight and Wrench really have the number of the red team. Starlight barely damaged, just now starting to get into that orange area. Recovery. Nice plays from Steve, and yeah, he's going to get that stock.
And I love that Steve immediately disengaged. You saw Starlight was down there. He
wanted the nair chase dodge.
He threw that neutral air so he could get the hit, get the chase dodge. But Steve wasn't having any of it. He knew he had the confirmed kill. So smart choices from both players.
And Steve staying on that right side, waiting for Wilson to respawn. Does not want to get caught by either of the blue team members. He's putting out some good damage with this hammer. Neutral signature thrown out from Wilson, but Steve not able to protect him. That's one of the big things about this red comp is that Wilson can get away with these signatures when Steve is there to protect him, but if Wilson does it and Steve's locked onto a right side wall, he will not be there, and Wilson's going to get punished.
And Wilson's taking a ton of punishment right now, almost in kill percent at this point. He's the most damage between them. Falling side air coming out from Steve. Onto Wrenched. Oh, that down signature almost hitting Wrenched. D-Light recovery. Wrench sending Steve high. He was looking for another one.
Nice there. Nice there. Double KO for Starlight. That's the OG Starlight. That is 2016 Starlight. Yep. He used to only sword stare his way through matches, and it worked so effectively.
Both members of the blue team in the red at this point. Wrench coming back to the platform. The red team changing their attention over to Starlight, getting the knockout. Weapon toss is coming down.
Finish stock. Oh,
and
now he's
Starlight
caught.
Possibly just saved Wrench from dying. He immediately came in with the unarmed downlight to relieve that pressure as Wilson was focused on getting the knockout on Wrench. Meanwhile, Steve was able to take out Wrench off the top, and Wilson, with the most defense in this game, is also taking the most damage and might be the first one knocked out.
The interrupts from the blue team are on point. Wilson is gone. It's all left to Steve in another 1v2 against the blue team.
And he's getting launched.
He's taking damage.
In kill percent at this point, you're seeing Starlight. Some medium-sized commitment with that sword ground pound. Ooh. Beautiful, charging up that side signature. Waiting for Steve to come in and punish Wrenched. Using Wrenched as bait there. You see him looking good after that. They got to be feeling good. They're up 2-0 this best-of-5 set. Just glad they're not doing any waves.
Yeah, I know. I was really waiting for it.
Just oof.
And there you see, so Wrench starts off with the signature just a touch sooner, so it looks like Steve's going to come down, try to punish them. And then you see Starlight charge up the side signature. Catches, because it's a grab, it'll pick one of the two if it hits both of them at the same time, and it'll always pick the opponent, and that time it picks Stevenator. We're seeing the switch.
Yeah, we're seeing the switch to Ragnar. Okay. So that is the criteria that
losing 2 games
forces the switch. from Queen Nai to Ragnar. Even with the increased defense, he was still the first one to fall. So maybe the weapon switch, maybe having the axe instead of the spear and the carryover weapon of Katar's is going to give him maybe better zone control.
He'll also have more movement speed, and one of the big things is he's getting caught out and they can't quite return back to the stage, right? Oh no, Steve in touch.
No,
yeah.
That's so early.
His face slid along the wall, but none of that counted as a wall touch because he didn't choose to do that.
And we weren't seeing Wilson use as many signatures. We weren't seeing anything necessarily inherent to Queen Nai that he might not be able to also get from Ragnar. Whereas we saw so many D-Light gravity cancel insigs earlier on Queen Nai's spear, but nothing really inherent to Queen Nai that was successful for Wilson. It was things that he can do with other characters.
Nice neutral signature. Will launch wrenched over to the left side. We're seeing more signatures come out from Wilson. Oh, the recovery. Plenty of jumps for wrenched, and Starlight's there for the protect.
D-Light side air. The side air part ends up putting out some damage onto Starlight, and the neutral light also putting damage out on Starlight. They do have a pretty sizable lead at this point as Steve's getting into the orange.
Weapon toss. Can the red team get a stock of the blue team before Steve loses another one?
He was starting to edgeguard wrenched over. I think he was looking for just like a simple hammer recovery that he could follow up with a weapon toss. And when that wasn't working, it was looking like wrenched was going to maybe stick on the wall, look for that side air slap. Steve immediately disengaged. He did pick up the kill. Starlight's the only one still on his first stock. Steve doing a great job of staying in the orange at this point.
Yeah, he's really extending the second stock in a good way, but Wilson gets caught now. All right, everybody in their second stocks. A little bit of extra damage onto Stevenator.
Oh, going real far across the stage. And both members of the red team stomp side air from Steve. Picks up wrenched.
Another side signature coming out from wrenched. Lots of side signatures coming out from wrenched.
He knows how valuable knocking out Steve at this point, forcing him onto his last stock would be. So you're seeing those kill moves come out. Recovery from Wilson. Not enough to knock out wrench just yet.
Oh,
that was a save.
Downlight, another
That was a save.
Yeah, that was a big save from Wilson. That was a nice side air.
Somehow Steve was able to survive for so long enough for wrench to get damage built up on him into kill percent, even it up 3-3. Unfortunately for Steve and Wilson, Starlight and wrench are up 2-0. They need to find something to not make it even, but in the lead. Because Steve was the first one to die before.
They need this stock off of Starlight. Down signature, but it's going to be Wilson who falls. Scoop, and Starlight still lives.
Blue team
defense.
Blue team just outpacing the red team at this point. If that keeps going in this fashion, Steve and Wilson are done. It'll be a 3-0 from Wrenched and Starlight.
Down there in a neutral light from Wilson, and then he wants the 2v1, and Wrenched is over on the left side.
Yeah, now Wrenched is the one behind. Knocking out Wrenched here would be huge for the red team.
You can see them slowly start to rotate over.
Edgeguard situation. Wilson
Stomp side air.
disengages. Goes back to the main platform. Wrench might have been distracted. In comes Steve.
All up to Starlight. He's got this soft platform, which makes this corner a little bit safer, right? He can dip down onto that wall if it gets too scary. Unfortunately for him, that soft platform's slowly moving away.
Starlight in kill percent at this point. Steve almost there. You see him swinging left to right, trying to split the members of the red team up. Get them far enough away from one another so when he hits one, the other can't rotate over in time. D-Sig on stage, taking out Starlight. Steve and Wilson staying alive.
Just barely. Both of them were pretty damaged. It's definitely a possibility of Starlight getting that one. Those cannon side airs start to hurt real bad once you get more damaged.
Ragnar working out for Wilson.
Yeah.
He didn't necessarily need all that defense. Just distribute those stats in a few other places.
I think he's hitting more signatures with Ragnar.
He definitely is.
Like, he's just straight up hitting more signatures.
Bring in those signatures and bring in that axe. And he's found a more successful formula against Wrenched and Starlight. We're on the dome.
Yes, Miami Dome has that middle column underneath. Not that anyone here has really been rotating underneath the platforms, but it is something that is prevented on this stage.
Oh, almost picks up the double right there.
Yeah. Wrench starting to throw out a whole lot of signatures of his own. Starlight with the interrupt onto Wilson.
Steve pretty damaged at this point. Wrench hitting both his teammate and the opponent, picking up Wilson and Starlight with that big slap. Going in
Wrench
deep!
missed the ground pound?
And it happens. It happens.
Nice side signature. Stevenator gives his team the lead. Oh, but Wrench with a wake-up side air onto Wilson.
Hammer recovery. Disengaging. He notices that Starlight is coming in for the relief. Steve knows that he's in kill percent. So a kill move punish from Starlight would have been the kill there, and later was the kill. Wrench the only one surviving on his first stock. Likely due in huge part to that rotation in from Starlight towards the end there.
Starlight's been doing a great job being a support for Wrenched. The recovery, stocks evened up, just a slight health advantage to the blue team.
But really when you average it out, it's like white and kind of mid-orange to like yellow and early orange. Oh, never mind. Starlight's now getting close to kill percent.
Taking out Starlight here would be huge for the red team.
Wilson trying to find the neutral light, tries to find the recovery. D-Light recovery, knocking out Starlight. 4 stocks to 3. Red team has some room to play with here.
But they can't over-focus Starlight. If they do, Wrench is going to start running in, getting these down signatures.
And I love that even though Steve was really focused on Starlight, Wilson was just like putting himself in between Wrenched and those two on the edge. Just saying, okay, to get to them, to help out your teammate, you're going to have to go through me.
Oh, but both red team members on the wall. The ground pound connects.
Ooh,
down air connects.
He pulled out of that at the perfect time.
Steve tries.
Almost gets the save.
Wilson tried to save. He recovered him, but unfortunately it launched him a little bit to the right, so he bounced off the bottom of the stage instead of getting him up towards that wall.
Wilson tried to do everything he could there, but unfortunately it was just a stage spike on his already dead teammate. Oh,
he got both.
2 hits on one, 3 hits on the other. Still putting the damage onto Wilson. Wrenched hasn't died on his second stock.
He's really extending this stock.
D-Light side air, no punish from Wilson on that. He was over there focused on Starlight. Oh, is that going to knock out Steve? It's so close.
He's disarmed.
Instant could be clutch
from
Wilson.
Burn dodge. Wilson comes back.
So many saves. From
so
just
many
like
clutch moments.
This person is about to hit my teammate. Here's a weapon toss that's going to save their life.
Oh, and that means
Steve's
gone. It's all left to Wilson. 3 stocks left on the blue team. A lot of them close to that kill percent, though.
Especially Wilson, who is close to that kill percent on his final stock.
Done.
That's going to be it. That's a 3-1 for Wilson. Sorry, that's a 3-1 for Starlight and Wrenched. Moving on through the bracket, keeping themselves alive. Good effort from Steve and Wilson.
Convincing fashion from Wrenched and Starlight. But yeah, good effort. I did really like this Wilson and Stevenator combo there.
I want to see it develop.
Yeah. I want to see them stick together.
The consistency of having a teammate can be so valuable. I mean, we've seen teams come together out of nowhere and do well. Daiku Koslix being one of them. Steve and Wilson back.